And you're live.
Okay, so my name's Connor Huggins, and today I'm going to talk to you about climate change. Okay, so does anyone know what climate change is? Because I know like some people do and some people don't. So does anyone know what it is? Kinda? Okay.
Sorta, yeah.
Okay, well, according to dictionary.com, climate change is a long-term change in the Earth's climate, especially a change due to increase in the average atmospheric temperature. So, reading that, you're still kind of like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, what climate change is, like, I guess to everyone, is global warming. Pretty much, climate change is a new name for global warming because global warming kind of sounds like something really, really bad. Like when you think global warming, you think like, oh, like it's so bad, like it's a scary thing. So for some reason, they decided to call it climate change. So thanks to this nice little picture by climatechange.gov, pretty much depicts how climate change works. So obviously the sun, it's like heating up the earth, and all these greenhouse gases make like a little bubble around it, so it gets hot, and blah, blah, blah. So I like to think of like, you know, when you have your car outside in the summer, you know, all your windows are up, and then in the sun for like 2 or 3 hours. Open that door, all the hot air is in there. You gotta wait like 10, 15, even 20 minutes to get all that hot air out. So think of this as your car. And then this little thing right here as the doors. So these, like the doors will always stay shut. And so like everything that we do whenever we drive and stuff like that, it's building this. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So why am I talking about climate change? Well, this nice little picture, thanks to slate.com, is a picture of Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton at one of the debates. So climate change is a very controversial topic. I mean, obviously, they're talking about it in the debate. So the reason that I chose to do this is because as a presidential candidate, you have to talk about what you're gonna do to help climate change. Because obviously it's happening, and it's happening at a rapid rate. So after hearing about it at a debate, I decided to do a little research. Decided to see what are the effects on, like what's it causing? Like what's happening because of it. So I'm gonna talk to you about 3 things today that are having a profound effect from it. We're gonna talk about Arctic sea ice, which you're probably thinking, why does this matter when I'm in Ohio? Give it a second, it'll kick in. Then next we're gonna talk about ecosystems, how it's affecting animals and where they live. And finally, we're gonna talk about weather patterns, because these are 3 things that actually do matter to us. Okay, so thanks to Greenpeace.com, we have this little picture, this little graph showing us about sea ice. So back in 1978, we were right here with 10.5 million square kilometers of sea ice. Fast forward to 2011, we're honestly in between 7.5 and 8. So you go down, like, let's see, like 3 million square kilometers in just almost 30 years. That's what it's doing to our sea ice, just because everything's melting up there. Where is all this water going? Well, it has to go somewhere. So when things flood, this is why. Because all that ice, all that water has to go somewhere. It doesn't just stay there, it has to go. So I got this picture from the EPA, because now we're going to talk about ecosystems, how it affects them. So down here we have the water, all your little sea animals and stuff like that. And here again we have like the Arctic sea ice. So what's happening is all this water up here, this is melting. So where this goes, this water is now warm. So it's going into the oceans and it's killing like coral reefs and stuff like that, and it's putting CO2 into the water. So it's killing all these aquatic animals. And so then like things like birds and stuff like that, they have to go someplace else to find their food, because everything down here is dead because we have CO2 emissions coming into the water. Okay, and let's talk about weather, what it does to the weather. So I think climate change has had the most effect on weather patterns and what is happening to the weather. So obviously we're gonna have severe droughts because our Earth is warming up. So, it's gonna happen. So extreme precipitation events. So since everything's warming up, sometimes we'll have the odd weather where in California, we had the drought. We had that drought for a month. Nobody had water because our Earth is heating up. We can't do anything about it, so we just kind of have to deal with it. Okay, coastal flooding. Like I said earlier about the ice melting, where is that ice going in the water? It's going to our coasts. So Florida, that'll flood. That does all around the Gulf of Mexico, all those states, they'll flood because that water has to go somewhere, and it's going to the states. And then also, and most importantly, we have heat waves because the heat is being trapped in the earth, so it's not getting out. So what it's doing, it's going over the states, it's going over the world, and it's heating it up. So now, all we have are these heat waves, or we have droughts, or we have flooding, because of something that we can fix. So I just want to leave you with a little thing to think about. Think about next time you get in your car, think about this. We can change that. Thank you.